welcome to my channel. My name is Ace and I'm the host of this lovely podcast, Furry Trash, the podcast for furries by furries that you are just about to watch. Just want to let you know, this is the very first and probably last video podcast I've ever done of the show. So if you do enjoy this content, please feel free to check it out on Spotify. The link is below in the description. And if you enjoy my vibe, the link to subscribe is floating on screen at the end of this video. Without any further ado, let's play the clip. Welcome back to Furry Trash. I'm Rose Get in the Box and welcome to the podcast for furries by furries. This week we are trying something new. I have a video. This is fun. Yay. And I'm joined by Roman with Team Lemonbrat.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me join today. Kind of insane. This is a little impromptu, so super excited about it.
Thank you so much for coming on. Tell people who you are, first of all, and what you do in the fandom.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Roman, as you heard. I work with Lemonbrat. We are a fursuit maker, kigurumi maker, hoodie maker, etc. We do a lot of different types of commissions. I myself handle a lot of the communications. So it's like emails where I'm the commissioner liaison, as we like to call it, where I walk folks through their commissions. But also I help out with some of the social media, as well as doing live streams on our Twitch channel, which is Lemonbrat Studios. Lemonbrat Studio. There's no S at the end. But yeah, so that's primarily what I do for Lemonbrat.
There's only one S because there's only one Lemonbrat. That's all there is in the world, just the one.
Only one.
Yeah. So you guys actually follow me on Twitter, which is mental. I covered a video on one of my series, which was then called Furry Reviews. It's now been changed to Furries in the Media. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about Lemonbrat reviews, talking about like the designs of your free mates. And that's something I've kept going since, what are we now, April? You guys have new premates coming up. By the time people see this, they've already been out and they've probably all been sold out super fast because they tend to sell out at like record speed. And that's how I found you guys, from mutual makers and mutual people. But to be honest, you can't really go to a convention. Do you remember when those were a thing? Conventions?
What's that?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Like, what's that, a convention? Yeah. You couldn't like go to a convention in the old days and not see a Lemonbrat suitor. So it's like a little bit starstrucky. Wow. A little bit amazing to like actually talk to the person behind some part of the brand.
Well, that's very appreciated. It's wild to us. It's funny because some of us have spoken about it when we would see like your videos reviewing like the pre-mades and stuff. And it was just like, that's so nutty that someone wants to do that. Like, it was so cool. And honestly, that was a big like confidence boost even for us, that like that, you know, you're interested in that and stuff. And so it was just really cool. And so it's exciting to be here today to do this video cast. I don't know. It's not a podcast this time.
It's a mix, yeah. So like this audio, if you're listening to it on Spotify, it is technically a podcast, but I would probably have this video on YouTube. I'll also link the Lemonbrat videos below in the description. If you want to check them out. Cough, cough. Casual plug there. Check the subscribe button in the corner. My inner Minerva McGonagall coming out there. But how did Lemonbrat start? How did it become the superstar fan favorite kigurumi world famous keep going amazing thing that it is today?
Honestly, so initially we started out previously more in the anime sort of communities, and it was prior to knowing about furries. I myself wasn't on the team during that time, but quite a few of the folks on the team were. And so it started out in those, and like, I don't know, it's probably 6 or 7 years ago or so is when we got like into the furry fandom. Prior to the fandom, we had made things like the animal themed hoodies and some kigus, as well as like ears and tails and stuff. And when we discovered that MFF, Midwest Fur Fest, was a thing that was relatively nearby us, we decided like, oh, well, we make these animal themed things. So it kind of goes hand in hand that, you know, we might be into the furry fandom. And so when we got there, Oast, who is our like main starter of Lemonbrat, they had seen like the fursuits and stuff, and they noticed that there was so there's like a lot of exclusivity sometimes in being able to get a fursuit, and there's nothing wrong with that exclusivity model. It's totally okay. It was something that we wanted to fill a niche of people who might want pre-mades, people who maybe don't have a character, or they do, but they just kind of like want a new one or something, or folks who even want something that's a little more affordable. And that's why we started the pre-made partial fursuits and things like that. So that way we could be accessible to the fandom. That was super important, when I should say is super important to us, to be accessible to folks. And so through many, many years of implementing new processes, having this team that we have currently, as I'm speaking, we have 21 folks on the team. So it's a pretty large team. And in doing that, though, it's allowed us to produce more while keeping a good quality, and I should say a consistent quality across the board. So, whoops, about knocked out my headphones. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer the question.
21 people, that is crazy. I know some people are like, 21 people, that's not a lot of people. That's a lot of people when you're working with each other. That is mental.
Yeah, it's a lot of folks, but everyone on the team is heckin' awesome. I love my team members. It's been, I started almost 3 years ago, and it's been the best job move that I could have ever had made. Not just because I'm in the fandom, but just because like I love what I do, and I get to be on, in the grand scheme of companies, a still very small company that we can come to this fandom and hopefully offer things to folks, a sense of community and all that type of stuff.
I mean, definitely. I mean, so years ago, I'm saying years ago, it's probably like 3 years ago at this stage, you guys were on a news channel report, and that's how the first initiation that I saw of Lemonbrat, and I was like, oh my God, there's fursuit makers in America, and they're on the news.
That was such a nutty thing, to have a news channel approach us about doing an interview. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. I wasn't a super big part of that one. I was kind of like, I was background crew. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So with Lemonbrat, like I have so many questions. I'm just like amazed. Sorry, I'm a little bit starstruck, not gonna lie, because I've seen you in the Twitch streams and I've seen you on TikTok, and I'm like, this is the actual person in front of me. It's very weird. Like, I know my shtick is to do podcasts and things, but it's a bit surreal to actually be like talking to you face to face, because usually it's like black screen, dark to void in the internet. So I'm just like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I think this is super cool too. Walking into it going, yeah, we're going to have a podcast, into let's do a Zoom video and make it a YouTube video. It's like, okay, let's do this.
We just keep adding more and more to it and just be like, one day it will explode. And when it does. Exactly. So you mentioned there the pre-made Lemonbrat. How do you have the ideas? Do you have people? How does that work? Does everyone, like, say if there's 20 suits to be made, does everyone make a character and that character becomes a suit, or is there a process? How does that happen? Because I look up to them. I'm thinking they are amazing. I'm so looking forward to the new pre-mates, because in Ireland they typically release like really late at night, so I stay up for them to like specifically view them. So I love them personally. How does that process work?
Okay, so we have a couple of different ways that the pre-mades will come to, I guess the designs come to fruition. We do have a couple of folks. There's Seraph, there's Oath, and there's Nyx. There are 3 different artists who have different positions on the team otherwise, but they also help with designing the pre-made fursuit designs. Usually we'll batch them out. So we actually call our batches, so we have batches or litters of 6 pre-made designs. And we literally call them litters. So it's just because it's cute, it's furry.
You literally call them litters.
Yes. So yeah, we do them, and usually it'll be like 6 at a time. So we try to make sure that when we have a litter of pre-mates that none of them are like too crazy similar, or we might actually purposefully make two kind of similar. So it's almost like, you have like a sibling sort of thing, or like whatever going on, where it's like, oh, two people get this, and then like, oh, look, they're friends. We also actually have it too, though. For anyone on the team, we're allotted like around 30 minutes or so of paid time to come up with pre-made ideas. So it could literally just be one, but like I could go and grab some color swatches and like actual fur swatches, and I would grab them and be like, oh yes, this blue, this pink, and this purple look really nice together. And then like maybe come up with a quick, like, do I want it to be a dog or a bird? And anyone on the team has 30 minutes a week to do something like that if they want to, since it's kind of more like an elective thing to do. So everyone can actually have like a hand in coming up with the pre-made designs. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Has there ever been like a situation where someone makes a character and they just love it so much that they buy the suit themselves?
So do you mean like custom commissions wise, or do you mean, oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind. I got your question. So one of our team members, Pinto, has two pre-mates from us because she just like felt like in love with them when she saw them. I had recently one of our team members, Mac, had made this pre-made design, and I saw it, like I already loved it like in its design stage, but then when I saw the actual suit, I was so close to buying it. I was so close, and I was like, no, but I don't wear my suits enough, and I got to get my personal character made by us still. So I was just like, no. But yes, there's been a couple instances of folks on the team that are like, nope, I need this.
Just grab it, like it's mine. It's mine, like a child in a candy shop, just yoink.
Yep, that's exactly how it is. It's just like, yeah, okay, well, because sometimes when it's on paper, it's like, oh, that's cute, and then you see it come to life in the like 3D world, and it's all done, and it's like got the finishing touches, and you're just like, that's so much better than I expected it to be. Like,
you mentioned you guys do commissions, which is obviously, I'm presuming, a big part of your business and your brand and stuff. Mm-hmm. What is like the typical like turnaround process like? Because you've seen it on the website. So how does that actually work?
Yeah, so our turnaround time on custom fursuit commissions is approximately 6 to 8 months, plus the shipping time. Then the turnaround for custom like fleece items, so kigus, hoodies, onesies, etc. That's closer to like a 6 to 10 it's 6 to 10 week turnaround time, and again plus shipping, just because we can't always guarantee that the shipping company will be on time with a shipment, but we're trying to shorten those timelines as well. But we do have so I try to keep folks updated pretty often. For the fleece commissions, our head seamstress, Tough Mary, she does a really good job of having like nice, consistent work in progress photos and emails with folks. And then I handle a lot of the most of the fursuit commission updates. And so I usually have an update about once a month, sometimes more often. It just kind of depends. So yeah. And we have like a turnaround timeline, because if someone has a really complex character, that one's just going to take naturally a little bit longer to bring to life, between custom patterning, as well as which seamstress can handle it. Like if it needs to be our lead seamstress, Mary, it might just take a little bit longer since she has like kind of a queue of her own. But if it's if it's like a standard dog or something that doesn't have a whole bunch of details to it, then that will take less time, because it just does. So yeah.
So I mean, like 8 months typically speaking. So for fursuit, which is pretty good because your guys' quality is amazing. Like personally, like I said to you earlier on, I haven't been to the States, so I don't know. I've never like held a Lemonbrat fursuit, but I've seen the colors, I've seen the styles, I've met multiple Lemonbrat fursuiters before. And one thing I have to say, your website is very hit and miss. Like, especially because I'm from Ireland, and when the pre-mates go live, they sell out like really fast. And in a lot of my videos, I'm like, the website's glitching, it's gone down, it's fallen, oh no, everything's
Oh no.
hurt. And I do understand that, like, the crave to get Lemonbrat suits, it's just chaotic. You know.
That's so sweet to hear.
So, like, typically speaking, you guys focus on like kigus, hoodies, fursuits, pre-mades. Like, that's a lot of stuff to be handling. How does that work? Like, there's just so much to be done. Is a case of like, from this time to this time we'll do this, or are people dedicated to like PR, or people dedicated to making suits? How does that system work?
So that is like the perfect segue. So yeah, each one of us has a set of different tasks that we specialize in. So like my specialty is the emails and communications, Twitch live streaming, and then I do some other small stuff in the back end. I help with some of the order processing, things like that, which is the stuff that like you don't see every day. But yeah, so we have folks who literally specialize in stock seamstress work, where they are actually working on our stock hoodies, stock ears, stock tails. Our fleece head seamstress, who is Ava. We've got Tough Mary, who is our lead seamstress. So she handles the most complex items. So she handles like the fursuit wings, or the really out there kigurumi, things like that. We also have head finishers. So these are the folks who will put the fursuit, we call them skins. So they fur the head bases, and then they do like some of the secondary shaving, as well as putting the teeth in and the eyes. So each person has like dedicated things that they specialize in. And so that's how we're able to assembly line it, essentially. It's like a human assembly line, for lack of better terms. So yeah, we've got that. I mean, there's all the back end office stuff too. We actually have an office team. So there's myself, Pinto, Lobo, and Bits, as well as Oast helps with that. Oast kind of has a hand in everything. But yeah, so there's literally folks who specialize in all of the different steps of the fursuit making, kigu making, stock items, etc.
So like the Avengers, but make it furry.
Yes, just like that. We actually have different guilds. So we have the Office Guild, Fur Guild, Fleece Guild, Stock Guild, and there's a something else guild that I can't think of. But we actually have, like, we call them guilds, and it's just a fun way, like it's something we just came up with recently, and it's a fun way to like compartmentalize each section of what folks do. So yeah.
I also want to talk to you about the social media side of things. So obviously, people are listening to this or watching this. I do podcasts, radio, and media, and all that kind of stuff. And I've done a couple of furry reviews of the website, looking at the pre-mates and things. Like, forget for a second that the fact that we've interacted before and you followed me on Twitter and retweet my stuff and I cried. You know, just casual stuff. Do you ever watch like reviews or unboxings, or like what's that like to see you started off a character and now someone in the world who's probably not from America, or maybe from America, or from all over the place, wearing them to dun 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 conventions, or like wearing them on TikTok and things? Is that like, how does that feeling? How that sounds like amazing.
Yes. It's absolutely amazing. I will say the one thing that breaks my heart is if I never see a fursuit again. So yes, it is amazing getting to see folks do their unboxing, do their reviews, make videos, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, the whole myriad of social media. That honestly, like, something that I've been telling folks a lot lately we love to be tagged too. We actually really like being added, like, hey, at Lemonbrat, like, because I want to see your suit. I want to see you bringing your suit to life. Like, I want, and we kind of have like a few folks specifically on Twitter who like we've kind of become friends with. They were firstly commissioners or pre-made buyers that have now genuinely become friends that like I, on my personal time, will sometimes text hi to, and we'll just chat as friends. And that has to honestly be one of my favorite parts of the job, is making new friends. Because like as an adult, it can be hard to find new friends. So when you have conventions, you've got the fandom and you have awesome commissioners, like it makes adulting a lot easier to say the least.
It makes adulting, that's fair, because I mean, I'm the same with Georgina. She's the lady that made Ink, one of my suits, a Lady Nightlight. And like without her, I genuinely would be lost, because she's the artist behind the podcast, like Icons. She's the artist behind pretty much anything Furry Trash that you will see. It's probably done by her. Like she made all the merch. She did like all the Halloween stickers, all the winter stickers, you name it, she's done it. And a lot of the time, like we message back and forth, not even as quote as like furries. We're like, did you see this post on Twitter? Did you see this thing? Did you see this person's suit? We'll actually talk about like, day-to-day boring things like taxes.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, the height of adulting. So I do understand that like connection people make outside the fandom, even though it's within the fandom. It's like this weird of like Venn diagram of like furry on one side, real life on the other, and then just like in the middle, fursuit makers and commissioners, just they overlap, and it's fantastic. So speaking of like media and things, where can people find Lemonbrat online?
Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are all at Lemonbrat. We have TikTok, which is Lemonbrat Studios with an S at the end. And then our Twitch is twitch.tv/Lemonbrat Studio. No S at the end.
So there's only one Lemonbrat, only the one and only.
Exactly.
And the show, you can find the show if you enjoyed this chat. I usually don't do these face cam stuff, so it's weird. Instagram is furry.trashpod. Twitter is ftrashpod. I usually would say something like check out my YouTube, but if you're watching this, the subscribe button is probably on screen. If you it's probably floating in the middle of me and Roman, just intercontinental there floating. Look at that there. Yeah, look at right there. Yes. It's weird because I'm trying to like do my outro, but I'm getting like mixed between YouTube and podcasting. So I'm like, I want to say here's 2 videos that YouTube thinks you'll like, but I don't know if people are watching this on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, they're floating on screen. And if you're not, then go make them float on screen. Go find them. They're in the description. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful outro.
Yeah.
Never seen one better. I love it.
A class, like David Dobrik, who move over,
Perfect.
So Roman, thank you genuinely so much for coming on. I really, really do appreciate it. This has been an experience and a half. This is cool. I might do more of these. You'll be the reason why I do these more.
Yeah, this was honestly really fun. Thank you for being willing to experiment with this new idea with me. It's a lot of fun and I like it.
Listeners can't see, but we're just like doing it in a kind of like a wiggle dance.
Yeah, we're just YouTube gets to get the horribly beautiful dance moves.
Yes, and actually speaking of YouTube, if anyone is sitting here watching kind of going, Ace looks a bit funny, yeah, because halfway through I took my jumper off. I was wearing a jumper, said nothing for the whole rest of the video, and I changed my hair too, so it's okay, you're not gone completely mad. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out, just saying. Yeah. Very
much agreed.
So Roman, before we go, where can people find you online?
My Twitter is at Roman_Rowan with 2 N's at the end of it. And then my Instagram is, I believe my Instagram is Roman Hyena or Roman_Hyena. So you'll recognize it. I'm a big brown hyena costume. Not a Lemonbrat, unfortunately, but soon. I'm actually in the queue right now, so really excited. Gonna have my Lemonbrat Roman fursuit. It's gonna be dope.
Well, Roman, like I said, thank you so much for tuning in and having a chat with me. I really, really enjoyed it. As always, I will have your lovely, lovely links below in the description, as well as all the links to Lemonbrat. And as always, you can tune in every Sunday at 1 p.m. GMT, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in to Furry Trash.
Thank you. Bye.